Hello and welcome to the MAC weather page for this Tuesday, June 27th, and we're going to definitely see a chance of some significant rainfall here over the next 4 days as we go into Friday and Saturday before things begin to straighten out a little bit. But we're also going to watch another system for maybe earlier next week. That's a little iffy right now, but you can see chance of severe storms maybe later on Wednesday, but I think the better chance will be for the day on Friday as a cold front comes through, and we could see some pretty excessive rainfall here over the next few days, with many areas picking up between 1 to 2 inches, and locally maybe even quite a bit more than that. You can see the extended outlook. We're going to continue to find ourselves going into a pretty warm pattern once we get into the first week of July and beyond, with precipitation to continue to be above normal. If we look at some of the growing degree days here at Breckenridge, we'll have a full report with the 50% plant date at all locations. But you can see here in the Breckenridge, over the last 21 growing seasons, this is this year, and we're definitely in the upper portions of that, so we're in great shape on growing degree days. If we look at moisture so far for the 56 or 58 days rather, you can see Breckenridge and Marlette, London, St. Thomas all in pretty good shape. And then you get down towards the southeast part of the state, Blissfield and Owego is pretty dry as well for some reason, but again, it looks like the southeast part of the state, Henderson, also including that, it's been quite dry, especially here for the month of June. Jasper only 28% of the normal rainfall, and Blissfield only 21% of the normal June rainfall. And again, I think you'll pick up a pretty good shot at rain here as we get into the Wednesday to Friday time period. As far as for the month of June, you can see Breckenridge leading the way with nearly 7.5 inches of rain. Meanwhile, down at Blissfield, only 7/10 of an inch of rain, so definitely they could use a drink of water. If we look at a kind of a sprite chart from April 1st showing some of the different locations in the rainfall, you can see all the excessive rainfall as of late in the Breckenridge area, and Brown City actually overall not in too bad a shape. And then the very dry spot, not even one day where they've recorded 1 inch of rain. And again, it's been quite dry, especially over the last 30 days. If we look at temperatures around the area this morning, you can see mainly in the upper 40s to the low 50s, and down in the mid 40s across our areas of Clarksville and over at Newaygo, our cold spots. If we look at the radar this morning, this is some of the showers that moved through around the Detroit area during the fireworks last night on the river. And again, those have all swung off to the east, a little bit in the thumb area, but again, that should move out. We should see plenty of sunshine here over the course of the day, with temperatures getting into the low 70s, so a very comfortable day out there. And as that heat and humidity begins to roll this way with this warm front approaching here, we're going to eventually see the humidities and dew points go up, and that's also going to bring a nice southerly flow of Gulf moisture right up into the state. And by late tomorrow afternoon or tomorrow evening, we expect showers and thunderstorms to really break out across much of the Wisconsin, Minnesota, and Iowa area, and those will all move into the state here later on. And as far as the Wednesday weather map, you can see that warm front again moving off to the northeast. That's going to spread that rain in first across the southwestern portions of the Great Lakes, and eventually we see that potential for heavy rain move into Michigan for the UP and northern lower Michigan. My concern is that we're going to see a big MCS complex, and that's going to have a tendency to roll to the southeast along this warm front, and it may dive and it might bring this heavier rain a little farther south. So I'm thinking if you're from around Lansing or north, keep an eye on some of the rainfall potential for late tomorrow into tomorrow night. We could see some pretty heavy rainfalls. And as far as the weather map on Thursday, the cold front will begin to move towards the area. And again, right now it looks like we're going to be in a warm sector, and we actually may stay quite dry across much of the area. It's going to be humid, warm, highs in at least in the low 80s. Would not be surprised if we have to bump those up a little bit. And then when that cold front comes through Friday out ahead of it, we expect a pretty good area of rain and thunderstorms with more heavy rain. And again, some of those could be on the severe side as well. And as we look at the precipitation potential over the next 7 days, you can see much of the area could see around 2 inches of rain. And we'll continue to monitor later forecasts as the models may flip-flop on how much rain and where the heaviest rain is going to lay out. But again, much of the MAC area is going to get wet here over the next 3 or 4 days. And this is the look at the Canadian model. Again, it too also shows around about 1.5 inches of rain across much of the MAC area, or locally heavier. And as far as our forecast, you can see the severe, as far as the excessive rainfall for day 2 for tomorrow, and we may be looking at another outlook for Friday. You can see the potential for excessive rainfall is a pretty decent shot once you get up into northern lower Michigan. As far as the forecast today, you can see sunshine low to mid 70s, and then for tomorrow we'll be in the upper 70s around 80 on Thursday, and probably around the mid-70s, around 80 on Friday, with our heaviest chance of rain and thunderstorms coming in these 3 days, especially for later on Wednesday, and again for much of the day on Friday. Right now, Thursday might not actually end up being all that bad, with mainly just scattered thunderstorms. Thanks for stopping by, and have yourself a great day, and 73s to all.